I think this is a special day that God has made, and I want to echo what our great mayor, and I think we all owe Mayor Daley a round of applause here for his great leadership. Mayor Daley and I have worked together on a lot of projects since I've been governor, and he's been very, very helpful to me. I want to thank him publicly and also thank his wife, Maggie, who really understands how important it is to have a place for children to come and to learn and to sing and to play and to come together and work together on important projects. And that's really what the Salvation Army is committed to. They are, in the words of the prophet, Old Testament prophet Isaiah, oaks of righteousness, the Salvation Army. Isaiah talked about volunteerism and all the men and women of the Salvation Army, all those who contribute to the Salvation Army, they're oaks of righteousness. It says in the Old Testament, according to Isaiah, that, "Here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? I heard you calling in the night. I will go if you lead me, and I will hold your people in my arms." And I think we've been held in the arms of the Salvation Army today here and in many other places across America. They're a very committed group of men and women who truly understand what the social gospel is. You have to live out the good news and help your neighbor. And so I really want to thank the Salvation Army for their commitment. Clearly, Ray and Joan Kroc deserve our everlasting gratitude for their great gift to the Salvation Army. Ray Kroc came from Illinois. The very first McDonald's was in Des Plaines, Illinois. Ray Kroc actually sold malted milk machines when he came up with the idea for McDonald's. And his wife, Joan, a very generous person, a special person who loved music. And Ray Kroc met her while she played music, and they came together. And after he passed and Joan was still with us, she understood that the great amount of money that she had was not to be held by herself, but rather to be given across America to the people of our country in a way that will live forever. And that's exactly what this center is all about. I want to thank Carrie Austin. I wasn't governor a few days, Carrie, but you were in my office and telling me about the center and asking for money. You're not a good alderman if you don't ask for money. That's the bottom line. And Tony Beal is sitting right next to her. I want to thank Tony, alderman of the 9th Ward. I know Joanne Thompson is here from the 16th Ward. They understand how important it is to make sure that we have a center in this part of our city of Chicago, our state of Illinois. There are 250,000 people, 250,000 people, within 3 miles of this center. About a third of those are children under 18. And we want to make sure we do not have those children exposed to violence. We want to end the silence about the violence. We want to have places, safe places, for our children to go, and that's exactly what this is all about. And I want to say special thanks to the members of the legislature who are here today, because after Carrie came to my office, we put into our job recovery bill that was passed and I signed into law last year, money to remediate this site, millions of dollars to make sure that the brownfield is gone, this center can be built, but it took real leadership in the General Assembly to do that. You had to get the funding to pay for the bonds, to make the dreams possible. And I want to thank Senator James Meeks, who is here today. Senator Meeks, I want to thank you for your leadership in the General Assembly to get the funding necessary. I want to really thank you personally. And let's say the table was set by a great Illinoisan. He will go down in history as one of the greatest legislators our state has ever had, President Emil Jones. President Jones. And I want to thank our representatives. I know Representative Monique Davis is here, Representative David Miller, and also Representative Bob Rita is here. We all have to work together, city and state, people in the community. How about the White Sox and the Bulls, huh? They're given $1 million each. Thank you, Michael. Jerry Reinsdorf, his son Michael Reinsdorf, and the entire White Sox and Bulls family have been very generous to people all over our state when it comes to having the opportunity to have recreation. We have with us a couple of outstanding athletes. One outstanding athlete with the White Sox, I think he had 112 hits this year and 84 RBIs, Carlos Quinn. Thank you very much. And this other young man began in Arkansas. I think he was the manager of his college basketball team, but he grew about 7 inches or so. He became the star of the team. He's a Hall of Famer. I know there's a future Scottie Pippen out here, and we want to make sure we salute Scottie Pippen for being in the Hall of Fame. So I think what's so important is yesterday we launched a neighborhood recovery initiative in our state of Illinois. And it's so important that we make sure that every neighborhood counts. Everybody in, nobody left out. Everybody's important in Illinois. We don't have a child to lose. We want to make sure that children have a good, safe place to grow up and to learn. I like sports. I think everybody likes sports. We want the Blackhawks to win another Stanley Cup, don't we? Yeah, it starts on tonight. But the bottom line is, whether you're learning sports or I went to Georgetown University, and John Thompson, the basketball coach for many years, had a deflated basketball on his desk. For every hotshot athlete coming into the doors of Georgetown, he told every young athlete getting a scholarship that someday your basketball career is going to be this deflated basketball. You better get an education. And that's what this center is all about. It's going to bring the world to boys and girls on the south side of Chicago, the south suburbs. We want them to learn everything they can learn to their fullest extent of their capacity. We know there's a future governor out there, and we want them to come from the Ray and Joan Kroc Center right here on the south side of Chicago, and may the will of the people be the law of the land. Thank you very much.